TACFIT Rugby program calls for several exercises that use the Clubbell because that's the best tool for the job. So Liz is going to demonstrate one of those. This is the front swipe, one-arm swipe. Now, if you're new to TACFIT Rugby, you may not have any Clubbells. So the question becomes, what should you do? So what we're going to do is break down the benefits of this exercise and then talk about substitutions. So Liz, could you turn sideways and show us that swipe again? So what you see here is that the Clubbell is going through more than 360 degrees of rotation, and that's giving you a grip challenge from all different angles. That's something we can't substitute. But what we can see is that there's hip extension generating the power that's moving the club, and there's force absorption at the bottom and force retranslation. And in the back position, Liz is using core involvement to stop the motion of the club and redirect it forward. That's good, Liz. Okay, so breaking that down, what can we use as a substitute to get at least some of the benefits? Continue the exercise, plug in some substitutions. So the first thing we can do is try to get the benefits of the hip extension with no equipment whatsoever. And that may be the case if you're out in the field. So what we have is a jump. So what we have is a jump. And this is a plyo jump with hip extension. So if you're going to substitute using a body weight exercise, make sure you get the full hip extension in the exercise. Okay. Now, the best substitute for the Clubbell would be kettlebell. You may have access to these in many gyms. So, starting with the front swing, you're getting that hip extension, you're getting the retranslation, the absorption and retranslation of power. Those are two of the main components of the exercise. Now you can also turn that into a kettlebell snatch. Now we're getting the benefit of the swing, but we're also adding in the core component. This is more of a skill exercise, so your athletes may or may not be familiar with it, but it is probably the best substitution you could do. Good. Okay, but if you don't have kettlebells, you're not lost. You can use dumbbells and get some of the benefits as well. So a simple dumbbell in the front, we're getting the same unilateral benefit because we're able to use one side of the body at a time and then force transfer across the body. And we're going to do a clean. So again, we're getting that hip extension, we're getting that force explosion out of the bottom. We're not getting as much force absorption though. We're going right to the bottom, to the floor. So that's where you lose the benefit of the swing. Good. And you can also substitute using the barbell to at least get the hip extension element. Now, what you're losing here is the unilateral element. So still an explosive movement. You're generating force using the major muscles that we're trying to activate, but you're losing the absorption and you're losing the unilateral component. Right? But there are some options for you to use. Clubbell is the best tool for the job. That's why we specify that. As you get deeper into the program, you can start investing in Clubbells one by one, spreading them around the team, and getting some of those benefits. But in the meantime, you do have tools that you can use. So go ahead and keep doing the program, substitute where necessary, and concentrate on breaking down each of the movements into their basic components and adapt those to the degree that you can. All right? TACFIT Rugby.